Okay, so, just gonna set this down here. Let's hope I don't look too damn ugly. So I'm driving home from school, and you know what? I did not think I would have the time to really edit and put together a real off-the-cuff video. So just screw it. Here I be. See, one thing, like Halo 4's story, I think was quite great. Its campaign, on the other hand, was let's just say it wasn't very fun to play through because of the knights and the gunplay not exactly being top-tier quality. However, one thing that I think could have saved the story, specifically from how, the librarian's exposition, or from just exposition dumps in general, is what if, from the very beginning of Halo 4, we start off with this strange, cryptic vision that is cutting in and out with quality, we don't know what's going on. We see images, we see hands, we see bodies, we don't understand. Is this one of Chief's memories from long ago? That doesn't make any sense. He's not wearing Mjolnir armor. This is quite strange, leaving the player in a state of perpetual mystery. This would ultimately take a backseat to the rest of the story. However, time and time again, we'd see instances of Master Chief falling asleep or passing out after instances of combat, or in instances where he's just resting. And again, we see more and more of these visions, each becoming more clear. The closer you get to the core of Requiem, the closer and the more clear and the more powerful these visions become. We see instances like an entire village of humanity being, vaporized in a strange orange glow. However, at the same time, this is while there's still the blue glow for the Prometheans. So, we don't associate the two right away. What I think should have, by these visions, we could have had the symbolism of Master Chief continually waking up to his humanity, because he is, of course, while the visions themselves aren't exactly humanity itself, it's bringing him to a higher state of awareness, something far above what the game's portrayed as just him being a military, your typical gung-ho, not really typical gung-ho, that would be Johnson, Space Marine, quiet Space Marine. However, what it is that eventually it would be revealed that these visions are the Didact's memories. And we're like, whoa, what the hell is this? Why do I know all these things? And then, boom, librarian comes in and she goes, I was the one who brought, not really librarian, but a librarian, the AI she made. But really, AI's fragment goes, I was sending you messages and all that stuff through the, into your neural link, because, that's something that isn't really, touched upon too much in the games, the fact that Master Chief has a neural link in itself. And we could see we could see it as a bit of a reverse of the Cortana moments. In the same way, I would rather them not interrupt gameplay, but if they were to, I would like that Cortana react to them in a similar way. React to them in a similar way to the Marines did in Halo 3. However, of course, with more variety. Have that there's more, expand on the platonic relationship, because a lot of people were thinking that Halo 4 built up a romantic relationship when it didn't. His best friend was dying before his eyes. Of course, that would make someone a bit emotional. Anyways, or, cause someone who has no training in emotions to feel quite awkward to the point where he's just continually reloading his weapon. We should have had more moments like that. That was beautiful. But yeah, themes like post-traumatic stress, no, that was supposed to be explored in Halo 5, which should have been. Back on track. Oh god, we're on 5 minutes. I'm a rambling mess. Okay, so basically TLDR of the past 5 minutes. My point is that we should have, they could have added these, visions that would have gone on to, that would have built up the Didact's character beforehand, like what he was before he fell. Because the point is that in Halo 4, we were fighting a Didact that met the Grave Mine, well, not really, met the first Grave Mine, really a primordial, but still one of the first grave mines, and was basically, he's fucking crazy now because of that. He is off the walls bonkers because of that. So why not explore this by having having visions of what he was before, eventually, occasionally hearing audio files and seeing him in combat. Maybe even a showdown / glare down between him and the human commander of ships. I forget his name, but yeah, hell, that would have been amazing. Seeing this great leader at the height of his power, only to see what he's become now. A shell of what he used to be, but just as powerful, just as intelligent, and just as deadly. No need for exposition. You already know what you need to know. And the Didact doesn't care that you know. You are a bug in his eyes. And until you can prove yourself worthy, which you do at the end of the game, he doesn't even acknowledge you. Maybe a callback to the vision, say, with the stare down could be mirrored in a cutscene between Chief and the Didact, with Chief taking the place of the human commander in this case. More of a way to symbolize how similar to what Hidden Xperia had in his he had a theory that that the Halo universe is in a perpetual circle, the old saying of those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it, like that. With and it could have foreshadowed, in a sense, the development that that one of humanity's best AI was going to betray them, even though like with LNG, God dang it. We could have had a better villain in Halo 5. We could have had a better one. Like there was the idea of Halsey being it. That would have been great. That would have been crazy. Oh well, we got what we got. So let's see how it works off that. So for one, we these visions could either keep lasting after the events of Halo 4. Except in a much more diminished capacity, since, Requiem is gone. Or we could have that Master Chief has basically internalized all of these messages and the such, these visions, and he can, not that he becomes force power, no, something more along the lines of him being, more knowledgeable in this case. More credence to to when he and the others go to installation 03, and he could I think I'll save the little thing about how it could have tied into Halo 5 later, or I won't do it because I don't want to talk about Halo 5 story, because Halo Wars 2 has me more optimistic, so I'm gonna just gonna wait for Halo 6 story to continue that. But basically, Halo 4, the story was well crafted. However, there are serious moments in which this little plot device I told you, the visions, could have greatly increased the awareness for those whom are not, exactly lore savvy. And hell, you could have that certain terminals have the exact same, little tidbits, but it's in full clarity. You could have that the in-canon reason for these terminals are that these terminals are where the messages are being broadcasted from. Something that would have been, a perfect way to service them in. So a bit more realistic than the logs in, the well, Halsey's logs, if anything, in the first mission would have been more organic than that. Turn, yeah, I can take this turn. Yeah, I can take this turn. So yeah, like, and once again, just to reiterate, we could have had the symbolism of Master Chief continually waking up to a new world, waking up to a new state of existence, waking up to his humanity in the end. To see, to view from the, because he's very observational, specifically in the sense of how he was basically the narrator for a bit of Halo: Fall of Reach. I need to reread that book. But yeah. Yeah, like the symbolism of him learning from the Didact's mistakes, in the sense that, you know, he knows not, he knows not to get too obsessive, but because he knows not to get too obsessive, and he knows what will happen to him. But heck, we could have that he does get too obsessive, out of nature. That is a bag of tricks that'll either have to be edited down for another video, or I'm just gonna have to contain and just spew all over Twitter and YouTube comments of much better channels than me in the future. Yeah. So, yes, once again, this is Ultraman ZX driving around, and, well, on the approach of this magnificent red eye, one that puts Guilty Spark's autistic light bulb to shame. I will be logging out in 3, 2, 1. May the rings guide our path.